Oh, we gotta turn the camera around, huh? Gotta turn that camera around. Here I am. Oh, I didn't have my. I'm not ready. Nobody's here yet. Let's get it on before they show up. Oh, darn. Caught me without my mask. Where'd that hat go? I need a hat too, not just a mask. Gotta hold the ears down, you know? Oh, hey, Willie. Hey, William. Look out. Look out. Watch out for the trunk. Yeah. You know, what else? A treasure chest. Don't they use trunks? Right? Oh. Oh, you got my eyes lined up there. I can see. Oh. IG. IG, I'm pissed. What pissed about? Um. Oh, the man alone, he didn't realize, the tie to the religion actually doesn't tie to the Bible. It's ancient religions. But I've been working on the art. Was ill last night. Didn't sleep much. Rested last night. Sometimes I do better just resting instead of sleeping. Lay down in bed and didn't really sleep, but I don't feel worn out. Just if you rest enough, any kind of activity just takes all the air out of me. But I go in tomorrow. Tomorrow is my phlebotomy for my blood cancer, so I'm pretty sure, because I had a headache. I had one of them killer headaches that the migraine pills don't even help, because it's not because of blood pressure. It's the amount of blood in my system, and so they have to drain it off. Hi, Jack. Hi, buddy. You coming up here? Hi, buddy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Huh, Jack? Look. See? There you are. Huh? There's Jack. Jackie Jack. He's a good dog. He's smart. He listens to me more. He's getting older, and I better listen to what he tells me to do. Oh, Jack. No, you're staying in. You're staying in. See, he wants to argue with me. No. Oh. Are we going to have to, I guess, let him out? I just started the stream, Jack. He doesn't care. Hope you had a good one. Hey, Maria. Yeah, I got some really good ideas now, and even it even like ties to the beginning, because I've got another no paddle up your creek. Because you think if the no paddle up your creek, that basically means you're fucked. And so, or you're screwed. You're not gonna get there from here, kind of thing. Yes. No joke. Yep. No paddle up your creek. And maybe it's not a paddle. Maybe it's a paintbrush up your creek. And also, paddles were used to spank little boys' bottoms, not just paddle canoes. I'm sure his dad used the paddle on him many times. And don't you think Forrest, as a kid, would have tried to hide that paddle? No, no, no. If you hide the paddle, then the belt comes off, and you get your ass whooped. My computer and stuff, the lights are coming on and off, and um, because the wind generator is barely going fast enough to power the stuff. But we got a new moon. After I go and drain my blood off tomorrow, I'm going head back up to my other campsite. You know, cause it's kind of a thing. The appointment's, you know, like 30 miles east, and my search area is like 50 miles to the west. So it's like I don't want to have a 80-mile trip to go to the doctor. So I squeezed a couple more days out of here, and I'm going do the doctor appointment, and then I'm hauling up to the hill. But I gotta try and get, I don't know how much gas I got in the RV, because the instrument panel's not working because of mice or something. So I don't know if all my lights are working. I drive in the daytime. And really, once you make the turn here, there's one stoplight. So there's not a bunch of you know, you don't really need your brake lights if you're the slowest car on the road when you're driving the RV going up the mountain. The thumbnail was a mammoth. Maria, oh Lord, be careful. Huli, where is it? Where's what? Forrest got switched. Forrest switched too. Yeah. Check on that other Facebook page. I haven't seen any posts from it lately. The one that Forrest Fenn. It might be a Forrest Fenn imposter. I don't know if it's an imposter or you know, there could be a Forrest Fenn out there in some of the chat rooms and stuff. That's hiding his identity very well. Anybody think Forrest has been in these chats and things, or he just a lurker and watches? Yeah, does Forrest chat or does he lurk? Yeah. I used to remove lurkers from my group, but I don't have. I after all I've done I don't think lurkers have a chance of cutting in line in front of me at this point. And we're running out of time, you know. If it is a contest, then you don't have much time to surpass what I've already found. You know what I mean? It's there's a lot. I got the Buffalo Cowboys car, and to me, that's the brave and in the wood part. And I took that with me. Let me get this a little lower so that my whole trunk is in there. And get my shelf out there. But I know if I go over this side of the screen over here that all that chat's going to cover my face, my mask. And I'm getting close to taking it off because it's, I don't know what temperature it is. What is it? 77 inside. And it's 73 outside at 9:11 p.m. 8,008 feet. And that's why I was telling somebody while I was watching the cow and April. There's the hill right up here. I'm at 8,000 feet, and there's the thumbnail. You see the mammoths in it, and people next to it, and a woman sitting in a chair, and uh, or they, I mean, they like got a saddle over the mammoth, and the people are sitting on the side of it. You know, it's like, what the hell's going on? You look at the picture and you're trying to figure out what's going on in this picture, and there's a lot of things happening in there. Oh, you get this off. Beep. There. Oh, what, Jack? He calmed down. He quit yelling at me to go outside. And I was looking up, because when I get sick, when I get the headaches and stuff from blood cancer, it's polycythemia vera, and I started looking up, what's going on, and they got meters like the glucose meters that, because they take my blood based on my hematocrit HCT number, and like when they started my treatment, my number was 53 or something. It's not supposed to be more than 52, but it's been 56 and 58. It's been high for years, and my bone marrow makes two. There's some hormone or whatever that tells your bone marrow to make more blood, and the number is supposed to be like 6 to 13, and my number was 24. So getting close to double of the high limit, and so my bones just keep making blood continuously nonstop, and it's not the genetic type, and so they say 98% of the cases have the genetic marker, but 2 to 5%, so like 2,000 to 5,000 people in the whole country of the people, because you take the number of people that have it, and then only 2 or 5% of that, and it's only like 2 to 5,000 people have this condition I've got, and it's like, how in hell did I get such a from a no, mine. I have too many blood cells, and so it's like a traffic jam everywhere, and it doesn't transport the blood well, and the blood cells are mutants. They're mutated. They're immature. They say immature, and they're mutants. So. That my number of immature cells has changed in the percentage and stuff. But the thing is that if that's why I take all my vitamins and stuff, because it can turn into acute leukemia. It can turn into leukemia. What I have, and if they treat you. When they treat you for it, 1 out of 10 people they treat it for go to the final stages of the, from getting the treatment. And so then at that point, if it turns into, then they do the chemotherapy and all that, but they don't do chemotherapy at the point I'm at. But there's no cure. There's no cure for polycythemia vera. They don't have a cure for it. And so I get out of breath easy because it doesn't transport oxygen well and all that. And that's why I make sure and I eat at least half a pound of beef or chicken a day. So because that's to get 140 grams of protein. You divide that. I don't know what calculator on the computer, but yeah, I'll do it anyhow. For my weight, 250 pounds, I need 140 grams of protein. And you divide that by 28.3 grams per ounce, and I have almost 5 ounces of that means I need almost 5 ounces of protein. And since beef and chicken are 1/3 protein, that means I need a 15-ounce steak every day, or the 15-ounce steak, couple chicken breasts, you know. So it's almost a pound of meat a day. So if you get some with breakfast, like pork's only 23% protein, so you need more pork. But a can of beans, you would need like 15 to 20 cans of beans to equal the amount of protein in the 15 ounces of meat. and so veganism, people who don't eat meat are lacking their protein. I noticed that there's a lot of women in the group for this blood cancer I have, although they say most of the people with it are men, but the women get on it. And when you're talking the male and female, there you have two different sexes got two different sets of symptoms, kind of. Do yogurt and protein? Yeah, I guess got to have the protein. 140 grams, 5 ounces of protein a day, a third of a pound, almost a third of a pound of protein a day. So, and just being meat is 1/3 protein. You need almost a pound of meat a day. I do about half a pound because there is some in some other foods, so you can make up a little bit of it with your veggies and stuff. But mainly, if you want a lot of protein, you got to eat the meat. And the other thing is, if anybody, you got your socks cut into your legs and leave like deep rings around, because the edema or whatever in your legs, if you, any kind of protein, just protein. You got to have 140 grams, 250 pounds, I need 140 grams of protein. So basically, I don't know, that's like 100 less than my 250, 110. But I'd have the deep impressions in my legs from my socks, and I even went to, because my legs were so swollen up one day, and so I started looking up what caused it and stuff, and found is partly protein helps. It helps your cells so that they can transfer things into the cell and out of the cell, so it can properly regulate the cells, the water in the cell and stuff. And so it might make you pee a little more. But when I started eating that half pound of meat a day, swelling in my legs is mostly gone away, I have very little. But The other thing with the blood is the lupus and my blood, but they both my lupus is autoimmune, and so every system I got is under attack by my immune system. Thinks that my body's an invader, and it attacks my nerves. The blood cancer, it affects. I get bone pain. And I'll be standing there all of a sudden, and it's like my foot's broken or my lower leg is broken. It's mostly in the extremity or in the fingers and stuff. You get a sudden feels like you got a broken bone because there's damage inside the bone marrow, and that's the bone marrow hurting. I just started cottage cheese. Yeah, I like cottage cheese with peaches or pineapple. He said, um, my mother was a good cook. I was born on her birthday, and she was like 5 years younger than Forrest. So she'd have been like 84 this year, but she died when she was 53. If you see a little shaking from on the camera, that's my wind generator shaking the RV. Oh, sorry, cottage. Yeah. Currently eating Cheetos in bed. That's cheating. I got gummy bears. You know, and they got dentures. It's like, okay, what kind of? And those are good because you can eat them with or without your teeth in. Gone, gone where? Um, I don't know what else. Didn't have a lot to talk about. I didn't make a list. Felt like crap most of the day. Jack's here relaxing now. He's not begging to go out. I have to put him on his chain, and he'd only been in half an hour, and I know he can go 8, 9 hours. What happened to the car that was stalking you the other night? Oh, they left in the morning. I don't know who they were. There was a couple people up here today, but they showed up in the daytime, and they were walking down along the dry creek, you know. And anytime you go out, you get out there and you start looking, and it's like there's a lot of this out here. It can be anywhere here, you know. So it has to have some symbolism. A lot of people don't put the symbolism into it. And that's why the drawings in the book are important. He said he drew the poem. So if he drew the poem, then he wrote the drawings. Yeah. Yeah, they're all right here. Got it there. What is it? Mine looks more like a target there. Huh. Yeah, my other book, my first book, and then Once Upon a While, those books were already signed when they passed them out at the book signing. Fort Clark. Oh, what am I looking for in Too Far to Walk? Yeah, I have book two handy. I showed that. What am I? Have you found an elephant? Oh yeah, there's elephants. There's a mammoth, right? Oh no, that's Once Upon a While has mammoth. Um, but there's it's my primitive friends, the Atlanteans, the original Americans. And now look at his primitive friends. The guy has face hair. Indians don't have face hair. Um, I should. I got. I know what drawing has some elephant. There's elephants in lots of the because he used all that scribble shadows and stuff. Usually, like arms are turned into elephants. The arms, the trunk. But there was one drawing I know in here that his shirt was definitely had an elephant in it. And there's oh, that's it. This one with Jackie Kennedy. If you look at the drawing here, I can't. I was trying to turn it so it's flat. It's drawn opaque. And anyhow, I was looking at the drawing, and it looks like the drawing of the gypsies and the fire and uh, the wagons and the campfire. It's like she's looking at the picture of the gypsies. And there's the rock canyon wall sticking straight up in the back. I gotta look really hard at that. Um, I have to scan it, get a good close up of that. So, because that looks a lot like my search area, right there in that pitch. That oh, can I get on that picture on her wall that she's looking at? So, yeah, there's figures down in the trees. That's a really good clue there, I think. Because and the thing is, you go out and you find these things out there in nature, and it's not the right one. It's the picture on another page, you know. Um, Look at in his down in here. Does this look like words written in there? Let's see, words written in there. And even I was looking at my shirt with the elephant trunk, and here now doesn't this look like a line of people going across here? It looks kind of like a line of people. It's a lot like the rocks, and that's why they have people hugging the elephants. Did the ancient people see that, and that's why they respected the mammoths? It was one of the early pictures, I think, with him. He was wearing a shirt. It's a drawing sketch. But he was I said the little effer that that lassoed that buffalo. He was brave, and the Buffalo Cowboy car I found, was in a meadow shaped like a D. He said he prayed for D's. Uh, And you see, there's another Cynthia hint. See, this is Cynthia right there. But people, you know, it's like his memories are on the cane walls. Uh, well, ID card with his name is hard to understand some of the letters on it. Yeah, and there's stuff in this rock. This is very similar to my search area, the tree with the cliff right next to it, you know? But look here, there's a pair of eyes and the mouth. See, there's a face there, basically, you know? And there are figures in here. Here we go. Here's a sweeping elephant trunk. Here's an elephant. Yeah, and there's a head down in here. I know this spot. I know that spot. And right here, this here, is that a rock in front of there, or is that a hole through the rock? And this is the elephant trunk. So there's a little arch here, you know, basically at the bottom of that rock. Unless that's a rock that's in front of the other stuff. But the other stuff isn't round like that. And so, yeah, round rock would be out of place in these jagged rocks. There's another thing. You look for things that are unusual. Or actually, it looks like somebody's sitting there. The round rock, the head, there's the helmet. There's a soldier, there's a leg, the other leg. Yeah, you know, there's all kinds of. Still trying to find that other picture with him wearing a shirt that has an elephant in the shoulder. To Joe. Hey, look at that Jackie Kennedy drawing, though. Some more. And even this here, this could be some kind of map, or if you go in or out, closer, further out, you know, you see other things, might see more, but it might be something written there. It might be upside down. You see the omegas, the horseshoe, upside down horseshoes? Yeah, okay. Hi, old fox. Hey, young goat. I bought a necklace from one of them jewelry guys by the Taos Bridge, and I gave it to a cousin of mine, and since then she blocked me. I don't know why, other than politics, maybe. No, is that the one? Yeah, almost. Yeah, it is. See, it's like this drawing of him sitting there, but it's a bigger one. It's the same drawing just about, but it's a bigger. And there's things in his coat, and there's probably stuff on the Eric Sloan drawing. He's got his car here could twist like a snake. Yeah, you know, maybe the road twists like a snake. And what's it say on the license plate there? Busted or Blue Dust. BLDOTZ. Looks like a reading test. And the car says Ford. The Buffalo Cowboy car was a Ford. The teacher was a Ford. Too fast for you. Oh, is that what it says? That would be a good one on it. Yeah. But I see a Z at the end. And here, look at these. This is a painting, I know, but the women are like the lumberjack looking up at something. They're all looking up at something. They're looking up at the canyon wall and going, "Did you see that?" Yeah. And it seems the bottom of this painting is just a big. There's nothing in the bottom corner. They're not looking there, maybe. But this girl here, see the hand? Her hand coming up here is like holding the head in her hand. See, there's faces in this. And that, and his donkey, the wagon train, Amelia Earhart plane. And I already did a video from where Amelia Earhart landed here. Where is that drawing? See, I'd have to go through the book several times to find it. Might have been the one I already looked at. Maybe it was earlier in the book. I didn't see it. But found out from a friend of the trinket I've been waiting for. It went, luckily, it had the wrong, he had one number wrong in the address, and the person that got it said, "Hey, this isn't mine," and returned it. So he got it back, and so I got to wait for it again. Hopefully he's watching, eh? Because I hadn't responded to messages because I had posted that I was going to be on at 9, and so I wanted to make sure I was on. And I'll read my messages after. Where's that drawing of Forrest? Well, was he taken? No, it looks like he's peeing in someone's gas tank. Yeah, that's it. Somebody in the car? Who knows? What story's that? I've read it. Retribution. We did some things when I was a kid you don't ever mention again. My one brother, he just likes to bring up stuff that's, you know, here's a memory you want to forget for the rest of your life. You know, some memories you want to just forget them. And he wants to bring them. It's like, why do you keep bringing that crap up? You know? But when I was like 4, I had, you know, kids playing, kids fighting, Yeah. So yeah, you just nailed this. Yeah, this one kid pretty good. Sent him to the hospital. So, you know, I always wonder whatever became of that kid. He survived at least. Yeah. But when you're little kids, little kids, you know, playing around or fighting over toys or fighting over candy or whatever, that was the deal, He's fighting over potato chips. He wouldn't give me a potato chip. I bet he wished he'd given me a potato chip. I didn't want to buy. I just wanted one. Yeah. And there's the weapon, page 177. No, not quite that big a weapon. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyhow, this drawing here, I've seen it somewhere else, and you see, there's a elephant on his shirt right here. This is the trunk coming. This is the head, eye, and the trunk coming down. This is the elephant, and the knees and the back legs of the elephant, and the head right there in his shirt. And so that's Elmer. The story though back here with the Bella. I think Bella was mentioned in the. I saw Bella somewhere else. Oh, there's some message. Why is she near the end of the book? I think it was in the back of the book. Oh yeah, and there's stuff in this drawing too, with the horse in the bedroom. Might find a map on them somewhere in there on the bed, or you gotta look at the paintings on the wall, because he put things in. You remember he talked about his which I called the autobiography, that he wrote it as small as he could, and so when you see the small things, you might have things hidden in there that you need a magnifying glass for, And that looks like a canoe and somebody by the river with a horse. And yeah, I think some of the other sketches are in these. There are figures inside these drawings. There is like a little artwork in each of the little drawings, and there might be a guy hiding in the fireplace. So he should have drawn Moses in there, right? This fireplace, some of the fireplaces had a little door underneath, so you can clean them out. And some of them had the door on the outside. This one looks like it's on the inside. That looks a lot like his fireplace at home, where he has the donkey there. And this covered wagon has a bunch of. That's the wagon that's on this wagon. And Sasha brought up the wagon, and that's an ore cart. And you see, it is on this page too. That's the ore cart, and that's the drawing of the ore cart. Now, why are the oxen pulling the ore cart through the field to plow it? Or does that represent ruts in the road? You notice that? Let's see. Get this book, get the book jacket to. You see that cart. He's got oxen pulling that wagon like they're plowing the field with it. It's a little odd. And it looks like there's a sack of something alongside the oxen there. Along the road. Doesn't look like a rock. It looks like a sack of something. And when he says the treasure chest is wet, that's the process that they make the bronze. So the bronze comes out colorful. They don't heat it up to full temperature. They make it so it doesn't all completely melt. And then you get little colors of different metals in it and things like that. I was watching Antiques Roadshow on YouTube last night and with my headache, and they had this art completely anatomical lobster or crayfish, whatever, and all of the joints moved and everything moved on it and all. It was made of iron by some Japanese craftsmen when they couldn't make their samurai stuff anymore or something like that. I don't know. They went to making the art objects and things instead of weapons. Isn't that neat? Make art, not war. Silver fox, oxen, yeah. Oxen, they have hooves, but they had shoes on the oxens back in the day. And I saw a picture of an old town, Dumbarton, New Hampshire, where my ancestors basically found a town. The road's named after them and stuff. Robert Rogers and James Rogers lived there in 1752 or so. And the Indians raided their little farm and burned the house down and cut all their fruit trees down and slaughtered their livestock and all that and kidnapped John Stark. The Indians took John Stark and took him up to St. Francis in Canada, and then Robert Rogers or John Stark escaped at some point, but he was a Rogers Rangers. General Stark was trained by my aunts, James Rogers and Robert Rogers. James Rogers is my fifth great-grandfather. Ethan Allen's my fifth great-grandfather. Those two conspired to make Vermont independent of Great Britain and the United States. That's why it wasn't the 14th state. And then right after the Revolution, it immediately became a 14th state, and they ran my family out of town up to Canada. And in 1795 and 1797, my fourth great-grandfather petitioned the state and had all the family's unsold land returned to him. And so my family owned 69 square miles of Vermont. And as far as I see it, the family wasn't paid for all the land. He left somebody and it was squandered and given to somebody else's family and things like that. So there could be if a new good real estate lawyer could challenge the state or the township and stuff, and especially the national forest parts of the town, and reclaim it for my family. Just like these guys have the 3,500 acres here. Well, the home of Brown was 3,500 acres and sold for I think 70 or 80 million dollars. And now they're selling lots, 35-acre lots for $5 million. And and so, but he only had 3,500 acres. My family had 4,000 or 45,000 acres because he had these two townships and he had half of Hubbardton. My James Rogers had bought half of the township of Hubbardton from his brother Robert Rogers because to bail Robert out of debtor's prison in England. Along Wolf Creek Pass. Yeah. We want to stop and just gaze. Yeah, there's a big pullout down there at the bottom by Treasure Falls. It's just up the hill just a little bit more. And from there, there's a lot of really cool stuff there up on the hill. No, Mr. Rogers, I don't think he's related to my family. We don't have those kind of genes. The guy that owns Rogers Communications up in Canada tried to claim he was related, and my cousins up there descended from James Rogers too, but they don't have the Ethan Allen blood. My cousins up there had to say, no, he's not related to he's a different Rod. My family came in 1726 to New Hampshire. The Presbyterians weren't allowed in Massachusetts, so they had to start their own state up there near Portsmouth and stuff. Call it New Hampshire. The Jews and the Muslims were forced to live in Rhode Island. They weren't allowed in Massachusetts. You had to be a Catholic to be in Massachusetts. Everybody else is run out. You had to be, the Pope's people to live in Massachusetts. They didn't want any other religions there. But I did have ancestors that, like part of Cape Cod, big part of it there, Dennis and Yarmouth. My ancestors were the first settlers there, basically. Named Chase. Sound familiar? Like a bank? No. He's descended from William Chase, who came in, when he comes 1627 or something, just after the Pilgrims, They were basically pilgrims. And I'm related to James Avery, Robert Sedgwick, who captured Port Royal in 1656. He captured Port Royal from the French for England, and then he allowed the pirates to raid all French ships, and they were given safe harbor in Port Royal as long as they didn't raid the English ships. And that was my ancestor. My ancestor ordered the construction of Kingston, Jamaica. and it's really cool to know all this. Wow, I come from these people? That's awesome. I don't know anybody in pineapples in my family. Those are flak jackets. Mr. Freely was a gangster. Was Mr. Rogers a vet and the sweaters are cover up? I don't know if Mr. Rogers was. The observation thing on Wolf Creek, you were there and it was open? Because it's been closed the last few times I went by there. I got a video of flying my drone off of there flying over the home of Brown. It's the most beautiful valley, and no nobody. Forrest said you only deserve 2.086 acres of federal land, but this guy had 3,500 acres of federal land. Hey, hey, yeah, we said our animals, war heroes. Yeah, I got war heroes in my family. Uh, Robert, there are Robert Rogers. There's two places. There's Rogers Rock and there's Rogers Slide, both on Lake George in New York, named after Robert Rogers. The one the story says that he slid down this. There was 6 feet of snow or whatever, and he slid down. He put his snowshoes on backwards, walked up to the spot, and then slid down to make him think that he had walked down the trail, instead of sliding down the slide on the hill. I was writing a movie script about it too, because they didn't know if he actually slid down the hill or walked out on his snowshoes backwards. And so my movie script, he goes down the hill, because I've gone down hills that steep in Colorado up near over by Winter Park on that path. I can't remember the name of the pass right now. So what's that supposed to? Know what that's supposed to mean? Son. What? Scared? I'm trying to figure out what are people talking about? Great rock formations. Yeah, okay. Mr. Rogers. Captain Kangaroo was a war hero. He was a Marine, I think, on Iwo Jima. Rescued a bunch of guys and stuff. You didn't know that about Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Jeans. And what was it? Something one of them kids show, the guy he thought he was off camera and said something about these damn kids. Hey, go home and get away from these damn kids, and that was the end of his show. Yeah, my little granddaughter just had her tonsils taken out. I had mine. Me, my brother, my sister, both my brothers and all of us, same day, the day Martin Luther King was shot, we all had our tonsils out, 1968. We all had the same room, bunch of screaming kids. Screaming ain't gonna help. Maybe screaming helps heal it. Anything happening? Nobody has questions. Just chilling. Yeah, just chilling here too. Stretched it a couple extra days so that I can go to my doctor appointment before I drive up to my campsite, so I don't have to make a 150 mile round trip to go to the doctor. It's going to be 60 miles instead. And then I'll hook up the car tomorrow and put some gas in, because I don't know how. So I got to put in enough gas to know I can get up there. And eventually, maybe I'll fill it. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I hope the mice didn't chew through my wires and screw up my electrical for. At least the engine runs and it drives. The parking brake is broken. I don't have money to fix that. So I have this is the bottom of a compressor with the 3 bolt hole things, and I got a rope on it, And when I park, I stick that under the tires in the direction it might roll. You try and park real level, and it'll stay there uh, because the tires aren't round. The RV is so big that the tires flatten out, and so it doesn't really roll. So if you're in a good level spot, sit 300 feet every day. Sit for 300 feet. How do you sit for 300 feet? I don't get that. You sliding on cardboard on your ass or what? You have wheel chocks? No, no, but this thing works fine. I've done fine. The other thing I do is I got a stick that I put between the driver's seat and the gas pedal, or the brake pedal, not the gas pedal, the brake pedal, and the driver's seat, and then I pull the brake fuse out so the brake lights don't burn while I'm putting gas in the and that brake it holds it just holds the brake on while I'm parked at the gas. But when I'm like here at camp, I got my leveling jacks all on the ground, and the wheels are most of the wheels are off the ground almost. So I don't need it when I'm parked. I only have to worry when I'm getting gas, because if I'm parking, I can put the leveling jacks down, and that's my parking brake. And where I park, where there's the canyon right in front of me, I got a hill. There's the campsite kind of rolls down and then rolls up a hill, and I get the RV right in that sweet spot, and and so I take the brake off and I let it right to where it wants to sit. Or you put a wheel in a hole up against a rock, and I got blocks of wood if I need them, but mostly I use the leveling jacks. And I'm missing a foot on the one, and it fell off somewhere in Texas. You don't want to be behind an RV when one of them leveling jack feet come off. You don't want to be behind it. Hopefully, I was out on a highway, just 2-lane highways. I drove 40 miles into this little town in Texas, North Texas, up by the Red River, Childress, and into the Walmart because I had a flat tire and I needed to, and the tire shop was closed. They had like 10 inches of snow. It was right just before New Year's, 2015, right after the big tornado. I was down in Rockwall, Texas, for my grandson being born, and the day after Christmas, I was hanging out for Christmas, and then I was heading back up. I had a new idea, and I had to go look. This was right when Randy Bilyeu was when he was rafting on the Rio Grande. I checked. I was searching up near Salida at that time before I got on the final area, and so I went up there, Salida. I was there New Year's Eve. I was in Salida did New Year's Eve at the bars there in Salida, and I went searching New Year's Day. I went to look at a spot by the Arkansas River, and I saw the ice on the river with the holes and the water rushing underneath it. And I said, I ain't going anywhere near that stuff. And actually, it wasn't Randy might have gotten wet. Maybe he got wet and then got cold, or maybe he just got cold. He was using his waders to keep warm. But from what I understand, they didn't find him in the river. He was trying to walk out of there or something, And I don't know if the dog went back to the raft or what. But Randy, I believe, died from just exposure. You don't come from Florida and go to Colorado or northern New Mexico in early January when it can get 15, 25 below. You don't do that. You're dumb. You're dumb if you go. I've gone and searched in January, but as I was here, it was a nice day, 40 degrees or so, and I went and searched. But you can't just go and go no matter what the weather conditions are. If it's getting anywhere near zero or below freezing, you don't want to be anywhere near there. And the other thing he never seen that movie To Build a Fire. It's about a guy up in Alaska. And if you didn't build a fire, you die. Hi, Thor Girl. I'm trying to figure out who Thor Girl is. Yeah. Um. What else? Huh? Give me truth. Where do you get a wrench? I think that's a fake wrench. It's blue. It's not blue. Give me truth. I sent Jason Dent a picture of my great grandfather with the Screaming Eagle at Vicksburg in 1863. My great grandfather played the fife, and the eagle loved to hear Yankee Doodle. You hear him? See? What? What? You come here and tell me. What do you want? See? Hey, 1 second, let Jack out. They let Jack out. Come here, Dub Dub. Oh, the wind's gonna blow the door shut, Jack. He can scratch at the door to get back in. So look, see what I guess I was just talking about. He just yeah. I guess Jason's seen the picture now that I had sent him. What's my other friend? Oh. So, Colorado broke a heat record today. Was blazing. Huh. What did it get to here? You got to 87 here today. But I'm not that. The other side, the Front Range, yeah, it gets a lot hotter there. The sun comes up in the morning and hits the mountains and bounces back down on those cities right along the Front Range and heats them up. Yeah, 101. Yeah, see, I was it was 87, 87.1. So it didn't even get to 90 here. And when I go up the hill, it's going to be another 10 or 15 degrees cooler. It only gets up 75, 80. I think it got to 85 or 90 up there one day. That the clouds weren't there. and really, this is one of the better times of year to search. In September, the aspens are going to start turning yellow. And one good time to search when you're searching, he's scratching it. He wants back in already. Hang on, we gotta let Jack in. Make sure that mirror don't flip around. Come on, come on, come on, up. I'm gonna come get you. Come on. You open the door and he stares at you. You gotta go out there and grab him. Oh, wow, bronze. Oh, it's bronze and it's 2D. What's bronze? 2D. Got some brass. The elephant bell. This come from India. Got a nice clanger. And I have a Liberty bell. So yeah, we don't know if we're looking for the bell shape. I checked this bell. He said the phone is ringing at this bell, or his phone was ringing at the end of the hall, right? That's a bell. And for whom the bell tolls, right? His father was looking for a substitute. Did that ring a bell? Substitutes? Substitutes is very related to subtle. Find a subtle substitute. Whoopee, the future. Maryland, non-threat. Oh, okay. Heard some what? Heard someone found the chest and I was... I think it might have been solved and all that, and the Buffalo Cowboys car was the piece and all that, but the person who finds it or finds the blaze, solves his, doesn't get title to the gold until he passes away. It's his until that's why he says the chapter things I covet. These are things I gave my wife, but I still consider them mine. My granddaughter gets this statue on the fireplace, but she can't have it until both me and Peggy are gone. This the same goes with his treasure chest. While he's alive, it's his. After he's gone, then it's belongs to the person that solved his poem and found the blaze, found the Buffalo Cowboy car, whatever. I found the Skippy's helicopter contraption, the ZPU gun, the wood. The wood is the word wood. At least he takes it with him. Yeah, taking it with him is going past the light at the end of the tunnel. Past the light. Yeah. That's why I say time is, he says it's a matter of time, right? When you imagine you're 89 years old, how much longer are you going to last? You don't know. I'm struggling at 61. Hopefully he was about the same age. He was in his 50s or late 50s when he got cancer too. But I've had this for years. My doctor, your blood tests show that you've had this for years. And my other doctor, she said my other doctors don't know what they're talking about. 58. Yeah, 58 was a good year. He was 58. Yeah. I was born in 58. In 58, you add 5 and 8 and it's 13. And 13's Mason's. That's why You know, they, oh, unlucky 13. No, 13 was the lucky number. It's a super, it's a prime number. Rutting season, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, if you're in Colorado and you want to see some rutting going on, hundreds and hundreds of elk, go to Mountain Home Reservoir near Fort Garland. Uh, the road that goes into the reservoir don't it's the road that you take to get to the road to go in there. It's across the street. The reservoir is on the west side of the road, and the elk are all in the field on the other side. I have a video of them. One of my videos is the elk. Oh, I can tell you the name of it. Um, oh, I spelled that wrong. Left the L out. Elk herd at Mountain Home Reservoir, Fort Garland, Colorado. That's the name of the video. And there's just hundreds of elk, and when you can camp there, you can camp for free at Mountain Home Reservoir if you got an RV or something, tent, doesn't matter, and it's free camping, and the elk are there, and at night when you're in your RV and you hear them up where I go up here to where I go treasure hunting, my camping site up there. You hear the elk up in the mountain and things. Jack, when I let him out to go to the bath, and he wants right back in after he did his thing. He wants back in because he knows there's some wild things out there. Yeah, and then so yeah, if you search my videos for elk, and you'll find that, and I have several. How's that on my page? Those aren't my. Those are other people's elk. I searched my page. I got two. The Del Norte, Colorado sunset. There's a elk in the. There's an elk up on top of the hill in Del Norte here, and I flew my drone up there, and I came like inches from hitting the rocks up near the elk, and I saw some stuff up there that you never know where that treasure is. Um, it's the drawing in the one book with with his ore cart going through the field, and it looks like alongside it looks like a sack of something next to the path he's plowing or something like a sack of corn, maybe, whatever, I don't know, that type of, it looks like a gunny sack open on the end. Did he put the treasure in a plastic bag and leave it out there, or we don't know. um, but I was told, somebody told me they got one of the jars, one of Forrest Fenn's jars. It was up up in West Yellowstone, or near, right on the border of West Yellowstone and the park, basically. So along with some of Skippy's nails, or not Skippy's, Clay, the bronze nails that Creighton Fenn had given to Forrest, and he said he used for the clangers. But yeah, somebody told me they've got I seen a picture of it. I haven't been given permission to show the picture. How does this little crocodile just wait for little fishes? And Lord, and speaking of crocodiles, Forrest Fenn's alligator, they got hundreds of alligators over here. They got an alligator farm, tilapia farm. This shoulder's, I just had surgery on it. It's still, yeah. It grinds, and I think there was something that broke way back, and they hadn't seen that. There's something loose in there that ain't where it's supposed to be. And you'd think they'd see that. No gently smiling jaws. Where? The oh, over here, the alligator farm. If you pay to go in there, I think I don't know if they charge more or what, but or just paying to get in. But you can they'll let you sit on the back of an alligator and hold its mouth shut. But yeah, it's like Happy Gilmore Croc. Hey, we're talking about Fremont, John C. Fremont. And I came from the town of Fremont, California, and our local parade was called the Pathfinder Day Parade because John C. Fremont was known as the Pathfinder. And you got old Man Needs a Loan, guy, and he's he's talking about finding the path. John C. Fremont was the pathfinder. And if you want to find a substitute for Lewis and Clark, you look at John C. Fremont. How does the little crocodile improve the shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws and welcome little fishes with gently smiling jaws. Yeah, and you see here, my peace pipe. Right there. That's an alligator claw. That's from an alligator in Florida. A friend of mine got it and made alligator sausage. You take the alligator meat and pork and grind it together, and you got alligator sausage. So I had alligator sausage spaghetti. And it was good spaghetti. Yeah, that's the alligator claw. And I got the little, where is he at? There's a little arrowhead. Where's my little, there he is. Yeah, that little guy. We got him in South Fork. One of the little crafty fairs they had. And I got a crystal on here, piece of quartz. Get this arrowhead on here. Well, that's really a necklace thing, and I just hang it on for a place to put it. You can take that, I can take it off, and I got other arrowheads. The red feathers are Togos. Togo feathers. Lou and Ron were talking about Togos. Togo's Eatery. Togo, my bird, is named after the country Togo. But, there are other arrowheads. I made this arrowhead up. Oh, shit, where is it? Right here. This little one. That arrowhead. I made that one. by using diamond files and stuff. Did I chip any of it? No, I didn't. I could probably chip at it if I wanted and make it more authentic. But these are turkey feathers. This one here, I don't know what that is, but it was up from my search area, up where the campground. And it's like some of the forest rangers, you know, if you find a feather on the ground, they don't, well, just don't, you know, don't ask, don't tell. And with gently smiling jaws. Oh, it's not scrolling. I missed a whole bunch. So that's Bill's peace pipe. Looks like a beak. See that? No, that was a. There's a claw. But that's an alligator claw. That thing. And it's got horsehair. The horsehair is supposed to be the scalp, you know. It's just horsehair. And it's got a medicine bag. And I put the 3 of Togo's feathers into the bottom of it. Make it more colorful. Oh, shoulder hurts. So, I don't know. So I got this out. But can I? Yeah. We'll get the peace pipe working. There we go. Yeah, this is a working peace pipe. Ah, Pocahontas, where are thou? The vine, Jane, the vine. Yeah, my dad used to, the vine, Jane, the vine, you know, the Tarzan thing, because she wasn't swinging on the vine. Eagle power their life, I found a baby rabbit foot. Man, I got to read a book before I catch up with you guys. I have word of advice. Don't eat dozen jalapenos version 6 in a row. Oh. I like the Burger King, the Texas Double Whopper with the jalapenos. Man, those are good. I like the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. The sounded like a mammoth yell. That be just finished my cigar. I expect Davio to finish his cigar. That's my peace pipe, and I was telling you about the Robert Rogers and James Rogers and the Abenakis and stuff, that they went up and raided the Abenaki village, and he claimed he killed 200 of them. The Abenakis are still around today, because I got this from the Abenaki chief, who is like, so we're at peace. My family's now at peace with the Abenakis. What you smoking in that peace pipe? It's kosher. I'll tell you, it's called Kosher Kush. It's been blessed by a rabbi, I suppose. Right? Kosher Kush had to be blessed by a rabbi. No, it's I think it's only a 22% taste. But I was thinking today, and because of my blood cancer and stuff, and the only medicine I really take for it is my anti-inflammatory that thins my blood instead of The other they say take a lot of other patients take aspirin, but the anti-inflammatory I have does approximately the same thing. So there's no need for me to take the aspirin too. And I've never my system never liked aspirin. Yeah, wind generator. What's it puttering at 4 miles an hour wind? Yeah, I wish my computer got still 57% battery. And the whole time we've been on, my computer's been running on battery. I've got the extended battery on the bottom of the laptop. And when both batteries are new, the thing will go for 8 hours on the computer's batteries. That's pretty good because I've got a 1 terabyte solid state hard drive in it. So I heard somebody saying, "Oh, if you hear something, that's my hard drive." While I'm compiling a video, and it's like, well, mine only has I have a fan on my computer, but there's no mechanical hard drive. That I guess the DVD on the docking station is mechanical, but the hunk for this year. The hunk's been available for years and is available, yeah, but only to the ladies, Jason. Only the ladies can have the hunk. You have a home wind jack? Yeah, I got one up on the roof of my RV. It folds down when I fold it. The bottom of the pole got a big old barn door hinge on it, and so I lay it down with the blade flat on the roof, and the tail sticks up, and it's still below the clearance of the. It's still under clearance of all the any wires. And wires going across the road are supposed to be at least 18 feet over the road, and wires over driveways got to be at least 15 feet. And I'm not even at 13. So, any battery power issues recently? Some days my batteries are going into the night. I've got 10 batteries, and they don't seem to last as long as they should. Did you see that? He wants to die. I got tape all the way around it because when you get one of these and you're after that fly, bam! Oops. Kind of split the two pieces that are sandwiching the thing, and kind of split it. So it's probably a good idea, better idea to reinforce it before you use it. No, Bill. No, I don't want to die. The fly. Oh, that's really Jason? The fly. Where'd he go? Usually about this time of night, they all land on the ceiling, and they're real easy to get with the thing here. I can show you. Watch this. I'll go get a fly for you. I'm trying to pull the power thing out of the. Here we go. He's right up there. Is that cruel? It's just one fly. Can he ignite? You think he's dead? No, he's dead. Then you gotta shake him out and pop another one. And I go by the light here and get the ones He's running past the lights because the bugs, they like to hang out by the light. And so that's where you can eliminate the bugs that come in. Because sometimes I get Jack on the leash and I got the door open so he can come in and out. Off my fly swatter. It's my Tesla thing. Yeah. Well, I saw somebody with a Tesla coil thing, and he's holding the light. The thing's going. He's holding the light bulb, and the light bulb's lighting up. No flies were harmed in the making of this vlog. No, that one was cooked. Nice. Yeah. The fly. Yeah. No. So, the same guy that did Mr. Bill's voice, right? That's one of my most popular videos is my Mr. Bill video that I did at University of Oregon digital arts class. And animation, and you got to make like 28 frames per second, and they wanted like 4 or 5 minutes, at 28 frames. You have to make an animation. You have to make them. So I had my pictures of my Mr. Bill, and I just flipped the pictures around and moved. Had his lips was the Oregon Duck O. I used to go to the Oregon Duck basketball games. I went to one football game, and I went to several basketball games. And you sit in the student section. In the student section, you're right there. The cheerleaders are right in front of you. And I always went with my 35 millimeter, with my nice with my I had it was my Sony Alpha 14 megapixel, and so I had great pictures from basketball games. And that Oregon basketball arena is really neat. Yeah, I'll send you a cheerleader picture, Jason. Have you heard of? I wasn't taking pictures of the basketball game, Jason. I was taking pictures of the cheerleaders. They were right in front of me. And they like having their pictures taken. But yeah, I was still over 50. Yeah, and I got a picture of me with a couple of Raiderettes at the 50th anniversary of the Wild Ones movie, the Marlon Brando movie, motorcycle movie in Hollister. And I was at Hollister, and I got a picture with a couple of Raiderettes on a motorcycle. They had their clothes on. So have them with us. Yeah, if there's few. Yeah, point out some things in the books, I guess. And once upon a while. And I asked Forrest if that was a morning shadow. I guess it's a 5 o'clock shadow. You get it? Yeah. Well, but was it moon shadow? Or maybe it's a moon shadow like Cat Stevens, right? I'm being followed by a moon shadow. Moon shadow. Yeah, that one. Better than morning wood. I got my monkey. He's hanging on a rope. You just swing him out there. Ooh, he hit the refrigerator hard. Crime rate in your area, 113. Do you? um, the cops come out to see me because people were reporting a UFO. That's. I think there are more UFO reports here than crime reports. And if it's crime reports, it's probably people stealing marijuana out of the fields. They got them big old crops things that go 1 mile, the 1 mile circles. Yeah, they got them things full of pot. They, you know, marijuana, 1 acre of marijuana is $100,000 a year. Uh, an acre of potatoes, it may be maybe $2,000 a year. You know, so um, yeah, Alamosa. The first time I pulled my RV into Alamosa and went to tried to pull into Walmart, I had to get my gun out to make sure that there wasn't going to be any trouble, because there was somebody there's some banditos giving me. I'm trying to turn right into the Walmart, and this guy's coming out. Right, I am blocking all the traffic coming behind me, and he's wanting to turn left. You know, and he's sitting there where I need his lane to make my right turn into the parking lot. And I'm like, go. Nobody's coming around me. Nobody's, And the guy wanted to, he's wanting to get out. I went. He finally went, and I got in, and I parked my RV, and he was coming back around, and then I put my belt with my gun on, you know, and before I opened the door to chase him off, he left. But you never know. I don't know what that guy has with him. I don't know if he has a gun with him or what. Is him and a couple. I'm just an old guy, trying to park my RV. Yeah. Out here, I don't see anybody. Warren G G G G G G G G G. Hey, whoopee. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, big whoopee. I need some music tracks, just some riffing and stuff to play to put in a 1 minute loop to background. You know. I'm dreaming about Woody Creek. Woody Creek. I got a different creek in mind, and there's Rainbow Creek. Huh? And there's the no paddle up your creek alternative creek. Like if there's no paddle up their creek, good luck. Good luck. You're not going to find anything, basically. You'll be shit out of luck. Or no paddle up your creek, shit out of luck. Basically, isn't it? What's no paddle up your creek mean? It's a place, I know that, but it has more than one meaning or one. It has multiple. It's not just a place. It has a meaning to it, and if there's the two omegas mean that there's two blazes, and there's more than two blazes. The burning the candle at both ends, and flew my drone up there too, and there was a blaze there. But I think that blaze was after he hid the treasures, a big forest fire. Because you ever see well, it's like a lake, right? A lake has a dam. And so, and from the lake, you have a bunch of creeks and rivers running into it, and one running out. But his father's burning the candles at both ends, and I got a lake with a dam at each end, and water coming out both ends of it. Yeah, I guess another ideas about that lake too. Except the whole one side of it was a forest fire, and all the trees are just like burnt toothpicks. Fake buried. Um, it's hidden in his imagination. These things on the canyon walls are in your imagination, somewhat hidden in your my imagination, because these other people. I mean, even when the guy told Mike Gowling, "Look at that map. See, here's George Washington." He was trying to explain his solution and there was he can't look at the map and look at the lines. If you ever taken an art class, it's about the lines and stuff. And Forrest talks a lot about abstract art. Can neither confirm nor deny. Yeah. The can't confirm or deny my Buffalo Cowboy car. He won't. He won't. He can't confirm it, but I won't bet he can't deny it either. Unless he's running on that 15%, He tells the truth 85% of the time. I've been going for a while here. Yeah, and I do have hair. Some people, he wears a hat because he's bald. No, I'm not bald. Not completely. I have as much hair as Forrest does. Yeah, you found it? Yeah, get your hand out of your pants. Do you need any metal detectors or silver thread? The Osprey. I send you a link to a killer song to use. Oh, okay. I don't know if I have the download stuff. Whatever. I got my Fanatic music and all that, but I guess I got to put some music on the other phone I got, and when I'm streaming, I can run that music onto my speaker. I just put YouTube music on there. And have you found some arrowheads while out and about? Forget if I told you. I found it's a knife blade. Oh, this thing. This thing. And I strapped it to this bone. I guess I could take it. It doesn't belong. I should have taken it off of here when I showed it to Forrest, because I got it wrapped on this piece of bone just to use as a knife. And I didn't do it the traditional way. He probably would have fixed it up nicer. Oh, where is that? Oh, I think that's tied. I can't get it undone. Screw it. But yeah, it's hanging on here, and I got a bunch of other stuff hanging on that nail too. I got this little Mammoth thing here. It's not. It's a whalebone. Sean had posted. Same guy. Jason. Read the link. Oh, yeah. They claimed he found it. Yeah, and it's Cimarron or whatever. Yeah, it ain't in New Mexico. Yeah. So you need Arrowhead. Fine. Me too. I haven't found. I got some I bought too. I have a couple of nice. Forrest says they're fakes, but he didn't really look at it very long. This one. You see how thin it is. Yeah. Yeah, everybody got one of them purple bags, but this thing's fluted way up here, and so is that one. That one isn't as far. That see one goes this far, the other goes this far. So did I 17. Yeah, I really like this one. I got a little one, a smaller one. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. If I can get my fingers on it. This one. Connecting. Well, I didn't need to reconnect. The cell tower's like out my back door. Yeah, it's a nice. They said it was a Colorado point. It's not. It's a nice one though too. I'm tired. The guy is saying. And Lou Gallagher, Ronnie, you guys are liars. Yeah, we only got one guy blocked, and yeah, we got one guy blocked, and nothing he said here. It's he said on his channel and on other things. Excuse me, you have me blocked, and you have Puppet Forrest blocked. I'm sure that I've had one or two other people that told me you've blocked them, Lou. You're a liar. And you know what, Lou? You got me blocked. Then you're open for me to you know, I'm supposed to be cheerful and happy. No, I'm gonna say double blazes, Lou. Puppet Forrest doesn't want anybody. He doesn't want anybody outside of who he wants to know who he is. But we're supposed to be seeing Puppet Lou sometime soon. He said he was going to stuff his shirt so he had a real Puppet Lou beer belly on it. I lost interest. Yeah, they come into the community and they run off who they want to. Tell me that I'm seeing shapes and rocks, and then they put up this thing, and the guy ain't even got any shapes in his rocks, Not like the Moses I've found. I've got some excellent figures in my pictures, and they have nothing to compare to it. And just like Mike Cal, they're all blind. They don't. take all of these critics would not go to an abstract art show because they don't know what they're looking for. It's like when you go to see abstract art, know what you got to know that it's a mixed bag of nuts, and you're looking for the shapes in it, But when you if you get that ability, then you see what's here, and you go, oh my God, that's somebody. This is a whole lineup of people. That's not natural. Yeah. You see, because they have to belong to the in crowd, They have to be the in crowd, and I don't know, or the guys. He's my age. What? I'm not. He's married, so I'm not competition for his women, But then they do a show, and the one guy wears a dress. Pretty soon. Yeah, Lou and Ron, who said that I've only blocked one person, and I know for sure they blocked me, and they blocked Puppet Forrest, and there was a couple. I think my friend that found the jar was blocked by him. So. Yeah, try something. I just need to make a new channel to have a different username and go get in them chats. Because then I'd be sly. Huh? Yes, they can't do it alone. No. Yeah, I figured out man alone, he needs a loan. That's why he's looking for the treasure. I don't know if he looks that much. He's in Indiana with all the other people there in Indiana. I saw a bunch of them watching K-Pro and Mike. I like posting stuff on there that's cryptic and all, but it has to do with the poem, and it makes total sense. And I know she reads it, but it came from Bill Gorman, so we can't believe anything he says. Can't give him any credit for anything he says. So somebody had asked Lou on their show today about that they said they weren't going to block anybody, and they got people blocked. Yeah, if they get nasty and stuff, and they block. But I never, I after the fact that they've, screwed me of any right of freedom of speech, then I'll tell them double blazes, and then they use my response to them blocking me for the reason they blocked me. It's like, that's bullshit, you assholes. I think they are liberals, like Puppet Forrest says. And liberals are why I don't go to California. I avoid it. When I went to Arizona, down in Quartzsite, I was like, how do I get up to? And I found a way that I got to Las Vegas going up along the east side of the border without going into California. Yeah, he's probably there. Because I don't have him blocked. They block me. I don't block them. Then he ain't got, this was Monday, right? and they're doing Sunday mass on Monday. It's like you got it all wrong. You don't know what day of the week it is. Maybe you won't show up for work tomorrow. And then they do what they do the show like 6 a.m. I mean, I got up and the sun was coming up in Colorado. That means the sun ain't come up in California yet. And they had already done their show. You know, it's like not a lot of us treasure hunters are in the military. Go by them military waking hours. It would be. Um, oh yeah. Hey, are you busy Friday, Whoopi? Fr- Friday, you busy, Whoopi, on Friday? 'Cause, my kid has some. Oh, well, my kid has some a couple tickets for some sound and uh, audio equipment convention up in Denver Friday. And he asked me if I wanted to go, and I don't know if I can. Going for long drives and even treasure hunting and all. My energy level's very low from, but oh, hmm. Yeah, after he goes up to Denver. Yeah. But yeah, um if you wanted to go, I could suggest to you. Yeah. Yeah. So you could ride up there with him and go to it, and then just come straight back to your place, and you can drop him. Then you can take him home, or you could drop him off at home, take his truck home. Since it's on the way. Oh, you don't have, okay. No, I know you're into sound and speakers and whatever. I don't know what's got. Uh, Me, I've got a little Polaroid Bluetooth speaker that I soldered a USB cable to it because the jack broke, and it's worked great ever since I've done that. No, no, there is one, the Blaze, but there are lots of other Blazes. The back of his book, he says, "My father's, if I know him, he's been busy lighting candles, some of them at both ends. The candles are blazes, and the whole path of the treasure has a blaze at each end, and there's a whole bunch of them in between." And he says, "Me in the middle, it's one of those blazes in the middle, but I think it's toward the end. But, and it's which one, because his stories are blazes. His stories are blazed on the canyon walls, just like Bighorn Canyon. He's going down the canyon reading the Indian story, the murals of the Indians off the canyon walls. Almost as like, did the government go and cover up a bunch of it, destroy a bunch of it to keep us from seeing it? Some of this stuff is, I think some of these figures had heads that were up on top of and they knocked them off. Forrest Fenn was dreaming. His teacher jarred him awake. He almost had he almost had Captain Kidd's treasure, and Miss Ford woke him up, jarred him out of his sleep, and he wasn't sure if he'd been to the island or not. And then Captain Kidd is a substitute for Long John Silver. Long John Silver had the 12-year-old boy on it. I think both movies had a young kid, because they had to make the movies basically for the kids. But he was dreaming in his class. I found the sculpt of rock on the rock with his teacher standing over him, sleeping at his desk. Um, um, the thing about the will is a theory. You know, nobody finds it. It's a valid theory. You want to say everybody's theory. You want to use it. You can't just take every theory and use it for toilet paper. Rockhead. So over there, you wanting to get blocked or what? Because yeah, somebody starts. Uh, oh yeah, I've got Jimmy Fast is blocked because he's such a foul mouthed little bastard. And he accuses you of vile things and stuff. It's like DeCall. DeCall never apologized for his vile remarks. Enchantment. Everyone needs some toilet paper. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you use toilet paper to make pictures of trolls. When I was in the Navy in the stall in the bathroom, it said on the door, somebody had wrote, just gave birth to 10 healthy Marines and made 10 new Marine ID cards. I had some enchantment earlier. Tied to the gold. Silver would be nice. Yeah, I got a little silver. And my silver actually went up 30%. It went from like $14 up to $19, I think it is. So they say gold might go to 3,000, right? That's about double where it is now. But when gold goes to 3,000, silver will go to 300. You know, silver should be 1/10 the price of gold. That's why they had a 1 ounce gold coin was a $20 gold piece, or it should be 1/20th the price of gold. So the silver should be worth $150. So the silver is going to go up 10 times while gold only doubles. Yeah, gold's gone up, and it's going to go up a lot more. It'll go maybe double, so maybe hang on to that tooth. Boy, I'm glad I didn't sit on that. It was on my magnet here. But I'm over 2 hours, so that's enough. I'm done. It's after 11. Is it sticking into the wood? Yeah. Put that needle there, stuck it in the wood so it doesn't fall off. I sit on it. poke myself in the ass. I got so much neuropathy, I might not feel it. So my neuropathy started in my big toes and engulfed my feet, and it's almost about to my calf. So the lower part of my legs, and the doctor at the VA, we don't know idiopathic. We don't know what's causing your neuropathy, and now my blood cancer causes the neuropathy, and I've had the neuropathy since '98. So I've had this blood cancer for 20 years, and they say you could live about 30 years with it. But I'm getting treated now, so maybe it's. And the one danger is blood clots and all because you got so much blood. But my blood's pretty pretty thin now. It used to be purple, and now it's bright red. 18 grams. Greek yogurt. Oh, look at that. um, so I'm done. I'm sitting here going, what do I talk about? Take care. Yeah, you too, Huli. Greek, look up the Greek yogurt. They got it at Walmart. Safeway. See you later. Good night. Give me title to the gold. Will is in the last stanza. There will. There will be no paddle up your creek. You're shit out of luck. Right? The silver thread is shit out of luck. There's no paddle up his creek. I'm the only one that has any hope.